Welcome to Wed and Wild. This is the podcast where we talk about the wild, wonderful, and downright ridiculous parts of marriage and family life. We are the Smiths, a married couple who's surviving love, kids, and each other. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode.
Welcome back, everyone. So let's discuss who actually runs this household. Would you say that you split the household responsibilities 50-50 with me?
No, I absolutely run the household at like 90% to 10.
And what makes you say that?
I think I could come up with a list of all the things that we do, and
all the things that we do isn't all the important things that need to be done. We're talking about the household as a whole, not like this is what we're doing today just to do something.
No. I think we could list them out, and
we're talking about to make the household
run. Yeah. I think I
not for fun.
I think I do 90% of the stuff, or I at least have the general knowledge of 90% of the things, and you may lack.
I lack what?
You might lack the passwords on how to get into certain things. So, like,
because they're your passwords. They're your account.
Because I set them up.
Yeah.
But because I'm managing it.
Okay, let's talk about changing light bulbs. Huh? Who went with the light bulbs completely burnt out for like a week until you told me can you change the light bulbs, please?
Oh, I did, but I stood there and I held the nails while you took them out.
Which brings up the next point, actually, about traditional and modern, I guess, routine. Traditional marriage, modern marriage.
Flex, modern / what? What? Like not gender specific?
Yeah, gender roles.
Okay.
In a marriage, since, I guess a blue job for a guy would be changing light bulbs since you wouldn't do it, or taking out trash, right?
Yes, correct.
So that means the pink job for a lady should be cooking and cleaning?
Absolutely not.
So what's a pink job?
I don't think there should be a pink or blue job. I think it should just be...
We're talking traditional, though, right now.
Oh, traditionally?
What is a...
Doing laundry, cleaning, cooking, taking care of kids.
Then so the blue job would be the fixing and the
yard work,
changing light bulbs, taking out the trash,
picking up dog poop.
So what side do you go on? Are you a traditional or modern?
No, I'm a modern, depending on my mood / traditional for the trash only.
And why is that?
I do. I just hate taking out. I hate taking out the trash. I just don't like doing it. But I think that we have to play to each other's strengths. Like, I hate cooking. Nobody wants to eat my food.
But
so why would I cook?
Traditional will give you a defined role. Like, if there's dishes in the sink, I wouldn't be expected to do that, right? So it's a defined role. Like,
you could also,
if there's dirty dishes, I know that you will do it.
In a modern marriage, though, you could also have defined roles. For example, I could say I don't cook, but I clean.
But we're talking traditional right now.
Okay.
So is that fair to say?
Sure.
Like, if we wake up and the laundry is overflowing, right? I know for sure I don't need to do that because that is your role. That's a pink job, for instance, right?
Correct.
So would that cause fewer debates?
Depends on who you're married to, but I guess maybe.
Because I know, like, if this needs to be done, I know who to blame. And vice versa. Like, if a light bulb needs to be changed or the trash needs to be taken out, right?
Sure.
If it's not done, I get blamed.
Sure. I feel that we're at a time where that traditional marriage and roles is a little outdated.
I mean, personally, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would say traditional is a little outdated. I feel like you can do everything that I can do, and I can do everything you can do. Like, you can take out the trash since I do the cooking.
I do take out the trash occasionally.
Like, I feel like both of us are able to share everything.
Yeah, well, and that's like more of a modern marriage, is that where partners are sharing roles.
But I believe it would cause more fights. And I have an example.
Go for it. What's your example?
You don't like the way I do laundry.
It's not that I don't like the way that you do laundry.
Oh, see?
It's not the way I don't like that you do laundry. There's two things that I don't like.
I just throw it all in there.
You just throw it all in there, and it led to all of our white clothes becoming blue because you put them with the blue jeans. So that's the first one. But I'm also guilty of that. So, like, that doesn't bother me as much because I'm, like, really lazy with the laundry. So I could get over that. The thing I can't get over is that you will do all the laundry and not put not one piece of clothing article away. That I can't get over.
Well, I don't need to.
You would rather just like let our clothes sit in laundry baskets and just live out of laundry
Yeah,
baskets.
I did the laundry.
But
Laundry
that
to me does not include folding and putting away. That's a whole separate category.
but to come back to this idea of it causing a fight, it doesn't cause a fight because we know who does the laundry in our house.
Yeah.
Because we have it, although we don't have I would argue we don't have a traditional gender roles in our marriage. We have some defined roles. Like I know that my job is to do the laundry and fold and put it away.
What
I
what
should
other
never expect you.
what
I could
other
ex-
job
I
do
could
you
ex-
have household wise?
that one's very specific.
I said what other?
Taking kids to and from school, girls.
There's no other option.
Okay. I
So
mean,
that doesn't
you
count.
could take them if you really wanted to. Like really defined roles of what I do.
Mhm.
I feel like that's probably it.
Is the
Oh wait,
laundry?
let me see. Pay bills.
It's automatic.
Well, I have to set it up and I manage the accounts.
Doesn't count.
So I do, but anything that comes through the bail, I pay. I've not once seen you. We have one bill. This is really annoying, but in our town, there is one bill that does. We're in such a small town that doesn't do automatic payments. I've never once seen you pick up that bill and pay the bill.
But you do it online.
I do it on my phone.
Yeah.
But so I manage the bills. Okay.
Okay.
I manage kids' doctors and dentist appointments. I manage childcare payments.
Which comes out automatically too.
Kind of, sort of.
See, I'm talking about stuff that's not automatic.
But that doesn't, it still counts. It's still a load. I still have to manage the mental load of doing that stuff.
Okay, let's say that the car needs air in the tire.
Oh, absolutely not. That is for sure you. Okay, let's see. What do you do on a, I guess we've never really sat and thought about this. So what do you do on a, that's like your defined role?
Everything.
Like what?
Everything else.
No, give me an example.
I could.
Okay, that's you do. Go ahead. What's next?
I assist with shower time.
The key word here is assist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the major ones.
But,
let me add that to my list. You're right. I do shower time. Okay, go ahead.
Well,
keep going.
You can't include the times that I have to work.
Okay,
that's not fair.
I'm not including that. Go ahead.
Yeah,
keep going.
That's not fair.
But you are an assistant.
Yeah. The tire thing, how you leave the tires flat and I have to go air them up.
Okay.
Or get gas because you'll leave me with nothing.
Not purposely, but yes, I do sometimes.
You do purposely do it because you acknowledge.
Okay,
You're like,
keep
I'm
going.
not pumping the gas.
What else do you do? Because I also have to pump gas, but go ahead.
Well, I've tried to do laundry, but
you were fired from that one.
The dishes I've put up all of last week every day. Cleaned all the dishes.
1 week. Do you want a 5-star?
No,
okay,
I'm giving you
okay,
recent.
I also do that. Go ahead.
I'm giving you recent stuff.
Well, I grocery shop.
Grocery shop with you. You buy snacks.
No, you don't do the Walmart delivery orders. I do all that.
Tell you what to get.
So? It's split. There you go. Okay.
And it's your account again.
Okay, keep going.
Why do I have to keep going? You've listed one thing. I'm already at like 5 or 6.
I've added to my list since you started talking because I didn't think about all this stuff. Go ahead. Keep going.
Anyways, I feel like
I manage our calendar, our family calendar.
That no one looks at.
Everybody listens. Well, people need to look at the calendar. Keeps us all sane, okay?
The calendar for you. But anyways, I feel like it's best to have a mixture of that traditional and that modern style. My personal opinion.
I would agree.
Like, don't go all in on one way or the other. Just try to blend them both together somehow.
I think we'll talk about this later on, but I do think one thing is to start to figure out who does what and be really clear on your roles and responsibilities. So,
like splitting household chores, would that be?
Yeah, I do think that is something that has to be discussed because if not, it ends up being like, who's going to cook dinner tonight? Or and in our case, I hate cooking and I suck at it. So it's always you.
And I like cooking, but there's some times that I'm like, could you learn? Can you learn? Like, that's it. Just,
no, I can't.
Just learn to cook.
I've added like maybe 5 more things to my repertoire of cooking.
I don't like when it comes to cleaning. I don't like cleaning after other people. I will clean my mess, but I don't like cleaning other people's mess.
I don't mind cleaning the dishes or putting the dishes in the dishwasher and unloading them. My biggest thing is I try to make sure that the dishwasher is either fully unloaded and ready for like dirty dishes, or I have to unload them, and so my pet peeve is when people just put their dishes in the sink even though they can put it into the dishwasher, so that alleviates one task, but
Do you think that overall that moms are expected to do more than the spouse?
yes.
Why?
I think
And I'm not talking about just like I'm talking about in general
I
in the
think I think
world.
moms yeah, I think moms and I think it doesn't I don't think there's a necessarily a like a you have to do more, but I think it just naturally falls to the mother to figure out certain things. Like, um, I'll go to like doctor's appointments or things like that. Because I think so much when the babies are little, like the moms are having to go to the doctor's appointments with them, etc. And although dads may go, I feel like moms take on some of that burden, and then I don't know, they're just home with the baby often, and then just people
I feel like I'm
stay
if
that
the
too.
girls are sick, I'm always home. You go to work.
Yeah, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about just
Yeah.
people in general, but I would say that, yeah, I think that moms are
Do
naturally
you
are
feel
expected to do
do you feel
more.
like I expect you to do more than
I think we do what our share is of things. Like, yeah, I think I unfortunately have to do more because you have your work schedule, but I don't think that's anything that's out of your control. You don't expect me well, you expect
well,
me
I
to
mean,
take
I
care
do expect
yeah, you expect me to
my
take care
expectation
to while you're at
is
work,
yeah,
but but
is
I
for
can't
you
give
to
you
take care of the house and the kids
yeah,
while I am not here.
yeah, but I not that, like, while you're here, do you expect me to do
Yeah, I
something?
don't
You won't
if we're together, I do not expect you to do everything or do more than me or if it works out that way, then,
I
I'm
think
not complaining,
I
but
think though I think though to go back, you are I think it goes back to, like, making sure that you are clear on what your roles or responsibilities are, or asking your partner or significant other when you need help or checking in. For example, let me think.
we can
I was
just
gonna say, like, shower time, but, like, sometimes I'll be like, "Hey, can you go give the girls a shower?" Because typically we either do it together or I do it, and if there's things that I wanna be doing, I'll just be like, "Hey, I need you to go do blah, blah, blah."
I don't believe anytime you've ever asked me that I've ever said no
Yeah.
either.
Well,
I
you
don't
just do it.
yeah, I don't feel like anytime you've asked anything, I've said no, but I might complain, but I don't think I've ever said no. I
I would
think I,
agree with
th- I
that.
think I complain more of your timing than the task. I'm like, why are you telling me to do this now when you had 3 hours prior? But do you think
But that
it's
goes back to you telling me to create a list for you. You're like, "Give me a list," so I
okay?
can
When I
give
say
them
a
to
list,
just
I mean a realistic list that could be done
oh,
within a certain time frame, not
what's the time
not run around the world and be back
frame?
by the time I get home from work.
Mm.
But do you believe that it's fair that those are expected to do more?
Do I think it's fair? No. Do I think, I mean, I'm not in other people's marriages, but do I think that maybe moms need to speak up for themselves a little bit more and have people say like, "Hey, I need you to do blah blah blah."
So what about those more traditional? Because I mean, some people are raised into that traditional household style.
I think well, people might grow up and want that. There are
Yeah,
definitely
so
moms
does
that would
everybody.
want that, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's okay. I'm not gonna lie, there's times where I'm like, "Oh, I wish I could be a stay-at-home mom," and then I'll be home,
Well,
and then I'll be like, "I'm absolutely not a stay-at-home mom. I can't wait to get
I've
back to
asked
work."
I've asked multiple times to
Yeah.
be a stay-at-home dad,
Yeah,
but
you have, but that's been declined too.
and which goes into the next one of do you believe that the higher earner in the relationship should have more of a say so? Whoever the breadwinner is, because
Oh, this
because
is a
typically
tricky
in a traditional, it's the man, right?
yeah,
Wife stays at home, cooks, cleans, takes care of kids. Guy goes work, comes home, everything should be done.
yeah,
Traditionally, in a traditional relationship. Well, we're in 2025 now, and I'll say you make total, you make more than me.
significantly more.
Now I'm counting all my
Yeah,
total income. It's
I'm
not significant, not significantly.
I'm gonna be controversial here, and I'm gonna say I think the person who earns the higher income
You make more than me. Yeah.
has gets more of a say so.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Why is that?
Because
Because I feel like no. I'm not saying the person with the lower income gets more say so. I'm just saying it should be agreed
let
upon
me
50.
actually, can I reframe this?
Yeah.
I don't think that it's the person with the higher income. I think it's the person that has maybe a more stressful job or should have more say so in responsibilities. Because I was gonna say, like, typically people who have more higher paying jobs, like, maybe have to work a little bit more or something like that, but I feel like oftentimes people with the more stressful jobs should have more say-so in what needs to be done.
So I should have more say so than you? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying you should have more say-so, but
That's what you just said, the higher stressful job.
but I do kind of think that, like, the higher stress that people are, I think maybe the more
I
say
don't
so. I do think that the more
I
that
feel the
people
complete
make,
I
they
feel like
should
if you're
have
going off of
they should
that, it,
have
it should be the complete opposite. The person with the most stressful job should not be making decisions because they are making a lot of stressful decisions in the first place. So that will overwhelm them even more. Just my opinion.
maybe not make
But
decisions, but they should have to do less.
so so you're giving me permission to do less.
No, I'm gonna argue that my job sometimes is stressful too.
But I mean,
But I do think that the person that has a higher income should have more to say around
I don't.
finances and things like that, but that's me.
That's a whole
But that's not
different.
for me. That's
That's a
not
whole
personally,
different
I should
category.
have no say so in finances. But in other people's marriages, I think that they have higher income, they probably should have more to say.
I feel like regardless of what you make, who makes more, who has a more stressful job, I feel like it still should be an equal say so and come to a conclusion. It's team. You are a team. We are a team. We should decide together, not well, you make more, so you decide
Okay,
what we're gonna eat tonight.
okay, for things like that, yes. But what about, like, let's think about something big. Like, you're gonna buy a house. We're in a marriage, and people are gonna buy a house.
Okay,
Okay,
no. Perfect example. So we bought a car a few months ago. Why did we buy a car?
because we needed a bigger car.
So that had nothing to do with who made more money or who had a more stressful job. That came down to this is what we need for our family.
But that's
a big decision.
that is a big decision, but that's how our marriage operates. I think some people who and some people maybe have there's couples who someone makes significantly more than the other couple or their spouse. So for example, if a wife makes significantly more than their spouse, they should have more say so in larger decisions because they're more financially impacted.
So you should have had a more say so in the car thing. Is that what you're?
No. I'm speaking about other people. I'm not necessarily speaking about us because we definitely operate in a different manner. I do think that people should, if they make the more money, they should be able to say what they want to say. If I had more of a if I
So then what?
really had an opinion on it and be like, "Oh no, absolutely not. This is the best
Okay,
financial decision."
so
They
relate
should be
that
listening.
relate that thought process to how you decide home repairs and car maintenance. Then, like, is that man's work? Because that means the guy should
In
be.
our household, yes.
Then I should be making that decision. Shouldn't come down to.
But I would argue that, like, it is definitely man's work, but it also depends on the people. There's people like I don't know how to change a tire. I don't know how to put air in a tire. I do know how to drive the car to Walmart to get an oil change, though. So I do that. I've never seen you take the car to an oil change recently.
No, I mean I can change oil on a car.
Well, then maybe you should do it at home so we
I
can
can.
save $50.
Yeah, I can change oil. It's not difficult. I can show you.
But I would definitely think that that is a man's job,
So
quote unquote.
just like the example of what we were talking about it yesterday with your mom, where you were driving on the interstate and blew out your tire, and instead of changing the tire,
I waited. That highway patrol came and
yeah,
saved me.
but you also called me
Oh, yeah.
to drive all the way to the interstate.
Yeah, and help me.
Instead of just changing. And why is that? Is it because you don't know how to change the tire?
That is why I don't know how to change a tire, but let's not forget that I've also blown out several tires, and I've handled that situation on my own without you.
You called a tow truck.
Well, I still handled it. I called who I needed to call. I called the tow truck. I called roadside assistance one time.
But all you need to do is just change the tire.
I don't know how to do that.
There's a tire in the car. You just jack it up and then change the tire and then go about your day, get another tire.
That's great. Let's also remember the time where you thought your car didn't have a spare tire, and I had to teach you about how all cars had a spare tire and show you where your spare tire was in your car because you're like, we're stuck, and I don't have a car, and I had a tire, and I had to get a ride there, and then I was like, no, impossible cars have a spare tire at night.
And I changed the tire, and I got out the car and I changed the tire.
You did get out of the car.
And all you did was sit inside the car.
You did. You got out of the car and you changed the tire, but you didn't know your car had a spare tire.
Yeah, you just sat there.
But I do think that is there's definitely things that men need to be doing around the house, in my opinion.
Okay, so if I take out the trash, do I deserve a gold star?
No, absolutely not. That's your job. Or the kid's job.
So cooking's your job.
No, because I suck at cooking.
You got to learn.
Well, no, it's not like I was hiding things. I didn't marry you and be like, I'm a 5-star chef.
No, but you've made promises to me that you would cook. You've made a lot of promises that you have not held your end of the bargain.
I do cook. You just don't.
You made promises pre-ring in order to get a ring, and then you got a ring and never followed through on these promises.
Maybe if I got a bigger ring, I would follow through.
Well, no, fool me once, shame on me, or shame on you.
Fool you 3 times, shame on you. I will say though, one thing I have noticed that I just need to call out because of this man situation and man's roles is I have been noticing now that Roman in particular on his own will be like, oh, don't worry, Dom, I'm going to take out the trash, or I'll get the trash in a second, blah, 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 because I think is starting to realize that it's your guys' job to take out the trash. And now he's starting to do it without being told.
Yeah, well, what about the other one?
We got to work on him. Okay, let's talk about the hidden labor that nobody talks about. Let's first talk about emotional labor. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Who do you think in our relationship handles a brunt of the emotional labor?
Me.
Sure. No one can see him right now because we don't do video, but he's smiling from ear to ear when he said that. Okay, go ahead. Tell me why.
Like what? Well, you're the one
I disagree.
I
disagree with you.
Give me an example. Which part?
Who manages the schedules?
The schedules that no one follows you.
Okay. Who plans birthday celebrations? Or who at least asks the kids what we're doing?
I was going to say, whoever's birthday plans their birthday.
Who does that? Who makes sure we ask that question to them?
No, you don't ask. You tell.
How about planning vacations?
And no one likes it. No one, and you get mad about it.
That's not true. It's not that nobody likes it. I just get annoyed with people.
Yeah, because everyone complains about the stuff you want to do on a vacation. See? You see? So you make it emotional for yourself.
No, I definitely handle all the emotional part of it.
Yeah, you make the vacations like Hawaii. Everyone's like, oh my God, what are we doing?
That's untrue.
And then you got mad because no one liked any of the stuff that you had.
No, I didn't get mad because of that. Everybody liked the things that we were doing. I got upset because everybody was looking to me to figure out where our next dinner plans were. And then when I didn't know what to, I was like, I don't know. I haven't figured that part out yet. Then people were like, oh, all grouchy about it. And so then I was like, I lost my mind. I said, I'm never planning another family vacation again.
Yeah, and then you continued to plan the next family vacation.
Yeah, and then I got over it, and then I planned. But I did stop myself, and I told my mom, I'm not planning people's Europe trip. So, and she was like, well, you can stay here, and you're gonna have it's not walking distance. I said, I'm done. I'm not even having this conversation.
So what do you think you do more for the emotional labor part? I have my answer.
I think it's because I think I need to do it. I think I'm like, oh my God.
I was close. What
were you going to say?
That you want to. You want to. You don't want to give that power up, I guess. That's why I said you do it to yourself.
I like to be in control. I would agree with that, yeah.
Because you want to.
There's certain things that I wish I didn't have to manage, but...
Like what?
Like kids' schedules, but I still do it because I have to keep it in my control.
You're right. On a schedule.
But when their practices are and when there's things I put it all on the calendar and I keep myself organized that way. But it is more for me, not for. It's just so that I know what's going on, and then that way, when you tell me I didn't know that, I could be like, it was on the calendar.
And does that cause any kind of resentment for me or towards me? That I don't just say, "Hey, let me do it," or I don't just do it on my own. and say, "Hey, look, it's already done"?
I don't know if I would say resentment, but I would say that I definitely get annoyed at certain parts at certain times, but I think it has to do with just my emotional state at any given time.
That
Like
it's all over the place?
yeah, it's all over the place, but
Yeah.
like, for example, I one of the things that I think I'm pretty proud of is that I said, like, today, I was like, "Hey, the girls have a doctor's appointment on Monday. It's at 10:45. It's on your day off. You gotta take them and don't take them to school, and then, now I'm just gonna move on," you know? So, like, let's see if I can, like, handle giving up that control and not having
You
to
pass it on to your mom.
I passed it to you, so you have to
Mhm.
take it. See, I'm trusting you. See, this is part of my
It's called
letting me
delegation.
no.
You delegate to me, and I have to delegate it again.
No, I
That's what it is.
see, this is I have to keep
If
it within a
if your
certain
boss at
control.
work delegates something to you, and you're like, "I'm not doing that crap. I'm going." Do you not give it to someone else and say, "Hey, look, you got to do this"? That's what
It
that's called.
depends. Most of the time I
Exactly.
do.
That's delegating. Your mom is here for that day. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, here's the situation."
Absolutely not. You're not going to do that. See, I have to this is why I need to keep everything in control and manage
Well,
all the things.
this is.
Like, let's just ask this question. What's the girl's doctor's name?
I don't know. I have no idea.
What dentist do they go to?
The same as me.
No.
But I don't know. Then I don't know.
Okay, I think you should be able to get this one.
No,
If the kids were sick, what urgent care would you take them to?
I don't know.
Um,
Vanderbilt
where?
in Murfreesboro. It's the only 24-hour one, or not 24-hour one. It's the only late night one.
That's incorrect. There's one
Oh,
here in
see,
our own town.
then I don't
See,
know.
this is why I manage it all in my
Don't
head.
don't get sick on my watch. That's it. Don't need to go to the ER if I'm here with you. That's all it is.
It falls to me. Okay, what about well, okay, a part of what I think this also goes in with emotional labor is having to like constantly be the one to make decisions. Who do you feel like should make the most not in our marriage, but just in general. Who do you feel like should make most of the choices in a marriage? Like I think some people think that maybe men should make most of the choices in the marriage if you're in a traditional marriage.
I mean, yeah, if you're in a traditional marriage, yeah. That's what that is. Like the man has to say so.
Do you think that's right?
Do I think it's right? I think it depends. I would say that you make a lot of the decisions. I do not always agree, and I believe a lot of them are wrong, and a lot of them legit will are wrong. And I will call you out on them. But I don't know. I just feel like that's because you don't listen. It's your idea. Like you said, you like to be in control. So if you don't come up with the idea, then it's different. Like you don't like my decisions.
I would disagree with that.
That's a lie.
Give me an example.
Hotels.
I said you would choose
Yeah,
them.
you said it from the beginning, and then
I was like, I don't care.
there was like 3 times in between when you first said, "All
Well,
right, you
because
pick."
you don't make
And
decisions
no, see,
fast enough.
no. You're like, you tell me to make the decision, and then like there's 3 times where it's like, "Oh well, let's try this. Let's do this instead. Let's do this." And I'm like, "No." And then you're like, "Well, why are you saying no?" And what did I tell you?
Okay, well, first of all,
Oh, no. What did I tell you?
what do you want me to do? Do you want me to find it or not, or something like that? But let's just like, I don't think people understand what you're talking about. So we've been planning a very big Europe trip. We got the flights, and we're trying to figure out the hotels. And I was like, you figure out the hotel situation. I don't want to deal with it. Well, I can't lose control. And so I'm trying to dabble back into the hotel situation. It's not working. It's not working out for me.
Yeah, while I'm looking for a hotel, she's like, "What about an Airbnb?" I talked to someone else, and they're gonna give me a list of Air. I was like, "No, no," and I was like, "Because you go back and forth all the time. You do this, and then you take it away." So I
It's
just said,
'cause
"Not happening."
but I was taking it away because you weren't operating on my timeline.
Yeah,
So I think I needed to be more clear.
nah, just saying. You try to take control of all the decision making. See, so that would give you your emotional and your decision fatigue because you don't share.
And then make me feel like I don't have a work-life balance because
Oh, you definitely don't.
I like I things just go crazy.
Yeah, you definitely don't. I always told you that you work too much.
I've gotten better. Even people at work say I've gotten better. Drastically better.
Well, that's crazy that they even knew like you work too
Yeah,
much.
they do.
Like, you have a family.
Somebody recently told me, she goes, "You gotten up so much better. You still need to work less." And I said,
Yeah,
"Okay."
yeah.
Noted. Thank you.
Because before it was you would work at work and then come home and just work the rest of the night. And it's like, yo, can you not? Like, you do got a husband and some kids here that need some attention too.
Well, I mean,
But with work life, because I mean we're on opposite schedules, so how do we fairly divide?
I don't know. I feel like this is something we're constantly trying to figure out. I think one thing we tried recently, and I think it worked.
Last week,
Yeah, it worked well. I liked it. It worked well. Is like we we quote unquote had a check in, and we were like, all right. Or you texted me, and you were like, hey, let's do this. And I was like, okay. And
decision making.
and it was you would cook and have dinner ready, and I would just make sure the house was cleaned up at the end of the night. And I think it worked fine. Don't you?
Yeah, I mean the only downside is like depending on what meal I'm making takes up a large portion of my pre-work time.
Yeah.
Because there was
It
like
depends.
one thing I made, it was like 2.5 hours long, and I was like, well,
Well, and that's also the one thing we didn't eat. Like,
yeah,
we kind of barely touched it.
yeah.
I threw a lot of it away.
But I mean that again is part of that just balancing out because we're on opposite schedules. So to save her time at night, I decided to make food for her and the children when they get home. So dinner is ready. And then my only request is that since she's saving time, just clean
Clean up.
up. Because normally when I get home,
House is
it's
mess.
like, yeah, 2:30 and there's toys everywhere. And so I'm walking in the dark and I'm tripping and stepping over everything. And
Yeah, I would think we should maybe try it again and see how it continues to work out because I think it has well, and we're in a different state right now. We have my mom in town for the next
yeah,
week and a half, so a little bit
so
different.
she's in charge of
Yeah, she's
everything for this week.
yeah, but I think it helped me because I don't get home till 6 o'clock with all of them, and then having to make dinner and then figure out cleaning and all this other stuff is the cleaning fell to the wayside, and I just didn't care about it anymore.
So
But
how should you divide roles without destroying the marriage?
I think we have to play to people's strengths.
Mhm.
Like I am not good at finances, so that should not be my
So,
role.
are you saying that you would trust me with any financial decision I wanna make?
Yes, but yes and no. Yes, to a certain extent, but I would want to one, I would have to know all the decisions that you are making because 'cause I'm not gonna be in, like, one of those marriages where you see, like, on Real Housewives where, like, they're getting divorced and they have no fucking clue about their money, right? So that's not gonna be me. But
Well,
2,
you have access to all the accounts,
minus your
minus my stock and my credit card.
and your fun account, I don't have
Oh,
access to that, but, anyways, but yes, I would say, like, I would let you do that. I would let you manage the finances and me have very little say so.
but paying bills, isn't that part of finances, managing finances?
I mean, I think in probably in most marriages, but I know we make enough money to cover our bills, so I just kinda pay him. I don't have to worry about, like, do I have if we're fortunate enough to not have to worry about do I have enough money in my account. Now I do ask, like, "Hey, what's coming out of the accounts this week?" Just so I know how to balance it, but I don't need to know all the nitty-grittiness of it. I just make sure it gets paid.
Okay. What about reshuffling? Like checking in and reshuffling?
Wow, we have to do that. I just think and this last week is a good example of what we did.
Well, just and just because of the schedules,
Yeah,
like when your schedule switches or
and I would
kids have activities and one parent has to go if both can't go, like just being able to reshuffle different whatever you're doing at home,
I will say
different
too, I
chores.
think it's interesting because we've gone like I think through 2 phases of life recently, one where we were on very similar schedules for quite some time, and I feel like we didn't have to do as much reshuffling then versus now that we're on opposite schedules, I think we are having to reshuffle chores and household duties
Probably
a
by
little
the
bit
time we
more.
get it down, it'll be another time to shuffle.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that.
I would also say that, like not keeping score. I
Yeah,
feel like you keep your scorekeeper.
I am a scorekeeper.
You,
I am a
yeah.
scorekeeper big time.
Marriage is not 50-50 every day. Sometimes it's 95-5. Sometimes it's 45-55.
In
Like
my brain, though, it's always
it's always
95.
100-0.
Yeah, it's always no, it's always like 120 to
Yeah.
like negative
It's
50,
always
you know?
your go-to is you never do
It
anything.
is, it is.
That is the
It
go-to. If you have to do one thing, it is you never do it.
is.
Which
Yeah.
is crazy because every time you ask me, like I said, you've never heard me say no or any of that. I've never said any of that, but it's always you never do this. I always do everything. Those are your exact
It's
words. You
because
never do anything. I always do everything.
and it's usually because by the time that I've reached that point, my emotional well-being is way off.
From
My equilibrium is thrown
what
off.
you do
Yeah.
to yourself, again, is
But
from what you do to yourself.
well, one of the other things I think that not all people can do, but I think I would do if I was a millionaire is
Mhm.
outsource when possible.
We kind of do.
What
Once a month.
hire help instead of arguing over the choice.
We have someone once a month that is outsourced.
Oh, if I could have her come every week.
I mean, we used to.
If I could have, we have somebody who comes to clean our house once a month. If I could have
I
her
feel
come clean
every week
once a
would
week,
would still not be enough for.
I don't care. I would have her
It'd
do
have to
it
be
just
like
because I
daily.
like to walk into a clean house. If I could have someone cook for us, I actually asked Leslie. I said, "If I pay you money, can you meal prep for me?"
Yeah.
It's like that's ridiculous. So I do think that there's opportunity to outsource.
I mean, yeah.
Then we can get rid of the who does what argument and like learn how to
Then we
cook.
say whoever
argument.
is cooking for us does all the cooking.
Yeah,
You don't have to worry about any of it.
that's our goal in life. We should set a goal: get somebody to cook for us.
I cook for us, but
You don't get paid.
Yeah, I'm gonna start charging.
I'm gonna start getting an
Start,
invoice.
yeah, start charging for my services.
Please don't.
Like, if you want to eat, all right, here you go. If not, then it's another night of ramen, I guess.
According to the girls, I'm the best noodle cook.
Yeah.
Noodles are top ramen.
Because that's what we've asked the girls who's the better cook, and they have said, "Well, mommy makes the best noodles, and daddy makes the best chicken." So yeah,
they're not wrong. I do make some good noodles. I even salt and pepper it for them. Okay, or not salt, but at least that's
you can boil that water better than any other mommies out there right now.
I'm so glad that's a gold star I'm willing to take. Okay, we had some listeners write in on their thoughts on who does more. So let's kind of read through what they have to say and see who we agree with.
All right. The first one says, "I do more, no debate. My husband thinks helping means asking, 'What do you need me to do?' instead of just seeing what needs to be done."
We've had this conversation several times, guys, and I lose every time. I'm like, can't you just figure, you know what needs to get done, just do it. And I was told by multiple people that men's brains don't work in this manner.
That's what we were just talking about earlier. Like, hey, when you say, "Hey, can you do this?" Boom. Okay, cool. I'll do it. If not, I'll be like, "Yeah, give me like 5 minutes. Let me finish whatever I'm currently doing. And then I'll do it." Like, and it's that easy. Like, I don't complain. I just, yeah. So I mean,
we used to do a chore list. Maybe this person should try a chore list with their husband.
My thing is it getting done? Like, what do you need me to do?
It.
Like, if you're asking, it says, "What do you need me to do?" instead of just seeing what needs to be done. You've yelled at me about the trash. I was like, I don't go in there every time. I was like, let me just check the trash, see if it's full.
Let's talk about the laundry. Like, you see the laundry piling up.
And you got mad at me when I did the laundry last time. So I wasn't touching it.
I got mad at you because you made our white.
Also though, let's throw this in there. I've worked this week. You had spring break. That means you were off every single day.
I was also gone though first. A couple of days.
You got back on Tuesday.
That's true.
You were gone Monday and Tuesday. No. I worked Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
You know, this lady, I think you just need to try a chore list and maybe for both of you guys and yourself. Maybe we should go back to it. The next person wrote in, said, "My wife thinks she does more, but let's be real. I handle all the invisible tasks like fixing stuff, yard work, and dealing with taxes. Meanwhile, she's mad because I forgot to move the laundry over."
That sounds about real life.
There are a lot,
I mean, I still even move the laundry when you say, "Hey, can you go switch the washer and dryer?" I was like, all right. I still do that, but you do the taxes.
I do the taxes.
You've never done yard work until last year. It was your first time mowing the grass ever in your life.
Yeah, I never knew. That's what it comes back to outsourcing. We should outsource the yard.
You cut the grass for the first time ever in your life.
It wasn't last year. I feel like it was at our old house that I first cut the grass because that was when we had a really big yard. And I was like, oh my God, we don't have a push mower. We have a push mower.
You mean you don't have a riding?
We don't have, yeah. And I was like, we need a riding lawnmower. This is ridiculous.
But I mean, what do you feel about that?
I mean, as somebody who I feel like also handles a lot of invisible tasks, I can feel your pain.
Like what?
I don't know. I just tell myself I'm doing a lot. So maybe they should sit down and talk like we are and be like, hey, what are the things we actually do? And then it'll make her realize you don't do. There's not a lot of things that you guys are splitting.
Right, this next one is we actually sat down and listed out everything we do. Turns out we both feel like we did 80% of the work. Marriage math doesn't add up. Yeah, marriage math does not add up.
Never does, because I always think I'm doing it all, and it's
like I said, you feel like you're doing 100%, and that I don't ever do anything. You do everything, and I can list things that I do, which could be 50%, and now we're at 150% somehow.
Yeah, it doesn't add up. Just stop arguing. Yeah. We argue about it all the time. It's fine. It happens.
And like we said, that I mean, you might feel like you're doing 95, other person's doing 5%. Like you're not gonna come to terms on this is 50-50.
I was gonna say, like, maybe tell your wife, hey, we're doing this as a team, but if she's anything like me, she might snap. Lose her mind. So maybe don't say that. The next person said, my wife carries the mental load, remembers birthdays, schedules, doctor's appointments, plans meals, take out the trash, and expects a gold star. You should give her a gold star. She deserves one. And she's doing all the mental load. She deserves the gold star.
Yeah, but what's the other half?
Oh, he takes out the trash. Says I take out
he takes out the trash. Yeah.
Give her the gold star, dude. What are you doing? Your wife sounds amazing.
Well, that means you need to start planning meals.
Absolutely. I can do meal line. You can cook them. Yeah, that's fine. I can do that. That's an easy transfer over to my grocery.
So next one is my husband swears we split things evenly, but I guarantee he has no idea what brand of toothpaste we use or when the kid's next doctor appointment is.
First of all,
Monday.
Only because I told you. So don't worry, you're not alone. There's a lot of men out there that have no idea who their kids' doctors are.
I want a gold.
But people use any other brand of toothpaste besides Crest?
Yeah, I guess. Colgate.
Oh, yeah, just kidding.
I was gonna say you have Colgate. You've used Colgate before.
Honestly, here's what I think. It's like if you're really particular about certain things, I feel you. I also am. You should just do it because don't depend on somebody else to make sure they get the right brand of toothpaste or, right mouthwash.
I just grab toothpaste.
Yeah, he's my husband's the worst. He doesn't look. He grabs whatever he sees first.
If it's easily accessible, I'm grabbing it. If it's what we need, it's toothpaste to me.
Okay. This next person said, we're actually pretty balanced, but only because we have clear roles. I cook, he cleans. I do the bills, he does yard work. No fights, no surprises.
Boom. Look at that. Balance.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for us last week with one two big pieces of our household.
I feel like you want to get into that. I feel like my job's harder because I'm doing it by myself. You, as the kids have snitched you out, don't even clean. You make them do all the cleaning, and you just sit on the what they say. You sit on the couch and you look at your TikTok.
Why else do you have kids if they can't clean your house for you?
Because I asked them. I was just like, "Does mommy clean?"
Well, why are you asking them?
It was in front of you.
I know, but what's your motive behind asking our kids if I clean?
Checking your integrity.
You never said I had to clean.
I did. I said you clean. I cook.
Whatever. It gets
and so the kids snitched her out. We clean and mommy sits on the couch and just watches her phone.
First of all, who makes the mess? Not me. I clean up our dishes in the kitchen. I'm not cleaning up kids' toys anymore. I'm
first of all, what dishes? Because I put away and clean up all the dishes after cooking.
We have to eat on dishes. We have to use silverware to drink cups of milk. Hello.
And you probably
wipe down the counters.
And you put it right in the dishwasher.
Still putting it away. Don't be a hater. Okay.
What's it?
The next one.
I keep track of everything. He just goes with the flow, which means I do everything and he exists stress-free. This is you. This is what you say. I do everything. I keep track of everything, and he just goes with the flow.
Maybe she should do what I did with you with the doctor's appointments. Just tell your husband he needs to do something. Like, hey, this is coming up. You need to do it. Give him the information, and then when he does it, tell him thank you. And when he doesn't do it,
and then
pound on him.
And then for him, he should just do it wrong, so he's never asked again to do anything.
This is the true banter. I actually can cook, guys. I just pretend like I can.
Remember, I made you cry because you try to make.
I really can't cook. I really can't cook. It's not good. This next person said, I make the big decisions. He makes the I don't care, whatever you want decisions. That sounds like maybe she makes more money.
Oh, my God. Maybe she has the more stressful job.
Maybe she has a more stressful job. I think it depends on what situation. I don't know. It depends on what kind of decisions you guys are making, but maybe you should have more. Maybe
it's like, what are we eating tonight? I don't care.
Yeah, do what I did. When I asked him where are we going, he's like, I don't know. And then I was like, fine, we're going home. Grab him at McDonald's, and we went to McDonald's drive-thru, and I didn't change the plan. So if you don't want to handle the mental load, ask, and if he doesn't respond, do it your way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with one person making the big decisions. I mean, if they don't want to put their input in, then
they just can't complain about it afterwards.
Then you got no right to complain if you're not wanting to chip in.
For sure.
But the next one is every time my husband does something small, he announces it like a public service announcement. I did the dishes.
James.
Okay. And I did everything else.
This is so you. Why do men need like gold stars?
So one, my love language is affirmation. So
is that like all men's love languages?
I don't know. I'm sure some are physical touch, some might be gifts. I don't know, but mine's affirmation. Just say, yeah, like you did good. That's all I need.
Maybe this lady's
so yes, that would be me. I did the dishes. Like
affirmations, then too.
Especially if it's something. So mine is more encouragement. Like if I did the dishes and you're just like, okay, then that's not encouraging for me next time to do the dishes. Next time I'm just gonna look at the dishes and be like, nah. You know,
just do what I did. He cooked dinner, and I was like, "Thanks for dinner. It was delicious."
Easy.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
It's free. It takes no energy for me.
It takes energy for the wife to just find the little things and not be annoyed by it. But that's fine. That's what they need.
Yeah, I mean, for this person, maybe that their love language is affirmation, words of affirmation.
Yeah. James needs affirmation. So, okay, this last one is. Honestly, my spouse does more. I'm just here for moral support and vibes. Good for you, lady or man. That's the life.
I want to be there for moral support and vibes.
Me too, man. I do too. So.
Yeah, but instead of arguing about roles and trying to switch, just try switching them for a week. And see, like if I did your roles for a week, you think I could hang?
Yeah, I think you could. I think the only annoying thing that you would find annoying is the kid drop-off situation, but that's just because
that would be mad annoying because I wouldn't be able to sleep.
Yeah, but other than that, I think you could hang.
Do you think you'd see anything differently if you were doing my role?
I'd probably be more appreciative.
Why?
I think there's definitely things that like I could do, but I'm like, nah, I got a husband for that. Like change the light bulbs, I could figure out how to change the own light bulbs. The car situation. If it wasn't for you, I'd be like, nah, I got a dad for that. Let me call my dad.
And what's he gonna do?
Either come over here. He's gonna find.
If you have a flat tire on the interstate,
he's gonna hop on a plane and he's gonna come over here and he's gonna fix it, or he's gonna call AAA for me and he's gonna get them to AAA for me. See, so that's it. And I don't know, if you think you're doing more than your spouse, ask them what they feel they contribute, and you might be surprised at what they say.
Well,
and realize that maybe you do.
Into you, I attribute nothing because you do everything.
So when you get like that, then ask them what they contribute so that they can start to list it off, and so then you can be like, "Oh, sorry, I'm wrong." Well, that wraps up another episode of Wed and Wild Podcast. You can find us on social media at Wed and Wild Podcast. Remember to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and we will see you all next week for another episode.
Bye, everyone.